think about Jesus curing, healing that woman who had been tipped over for 18 years. And by the way, in Christian Century this month, there was an article about this gospel passage, and they said that scientists think she had a rare form of arthritis called ankylosing spondylitis. How they will know that, I have no idea. But it caught my eye because that's what my husband has. And so I said, Kurt, the lady in the gospel, she had, and he's like, yeah, right. So I, of course, had to show him the magazine because unlike all of you, he doesn't believe everything I say. So, he knows me really well. So anyway, we got a kick out of that, and who knows if she had that or not. But when Jesus released her from that bondage, she was able to breathe again. Now, when we talk about starshine and people who have mental and intellectual challenges, we remember that Mr. Kretzmann said, we all have challenges. Those folks just wear them a little more publicly. We all have something that binds us. We all have something that holds us or causes pain, from which we need relief. And one of the answers to that is breathing. And one of the answers to that is Jesus. And so we're going to breathe a little bit. We're going to do a guided imagery. Before we start, I'll give you some ground rules. I'm going to ask you to close your eyes if it's comfortable for you and to do some deep breathing. I will tell you that when I do these things not often, but sometimes people think I'm going to hypnotize them. I'm not going to do that. No one will come up and do the chicken dance, except perhaps the band, I don't know. But we're just going to lead you in some breathing and then have you think about some things to do with bondage and to do with healing and relief. Because that's really what the gospel is about too. It's about healing and it's about relief. So just sit comfortably in your chairs, feet on the floor is the best way, and begin to breathe deeply. You can gently close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. This is a whole lot easier than tipping over for 5 minutes, so just sit real comfortably and breathe very, very deeply. As you breathe in, try to get your exhalations longer than your inhalations. Don't worry about the baby, that's okay. You will hear noises, which are cool, and just let them go. Breathe very deeply now and relax your body into the chair, feeling your sit bones melt into the chair, feeling a warm sensation from the top of your head right down into your back, into your bottom, into your legs. Continuing to breathe very deeply. I want you to picture a sunny sky with blue and yellow and white, very much like today's sky would look. Most of you can picture a sunny sky with blue and yellow and white, and that's just as easy as guided imagery is. And now I want you to look back on your morning this morning. And I want you to think about the things that you did before you came to worship. And I want you to think about them as holy things. Because one thing that I've learned more and more is that all that we do is holy. Because God is as near as our breath, just as Rob Bell reminded us. So breathing very deeply, think about the holy moments in your life this morning. And you may come across the moments that don't feel like you handled them in a very holy way, and that's okay. Know that God was in those moments anyway. The other night, Kurt and I were going to have a party, and I was slicing citrus fruit for a punch, and I had to stop rushing and remember that even in that, there was holiness. So I sliced a little more deliberately and prayed a little longer. Breathe very deeply now, and think about the moments that you have coming ahead this day. What will today bring? What plans do you have? What spontaneous things might happen? And think about those two as holy. Allow yourself to ask God to bless every moment of this day. Remember that you are the priesthood of all believers. You are the people who will this week be Jesus to someone else, whether you know it or not. You are the people who this week can choose to be unforgiving and snarky and impatient, or not, to be loving and gentle and kind. You get to choose. Remember, as you continue to breathe deeply, that every moment is holy, and every ground is holy, whether it is grass or concrete or new carpeting. It's holy because God is in it. God is in our breath. And anytime you need to reconnect with that, you just need to close your eyes for a few minutes and breathe. God is with you. And finally, if you will just think about something which is binding you or causing you pain, and know that God is right there to receive it. God receives that from you. We are not always healed as quickly as the woman in today's gospel. I've just gone through 3 months of physical therapy so I could raise my arm again. But with God's help and with hard work and with a healer, I am able to do that. So we lay our hearts open to Jesus, who is a healer. And we give him our bondage and our pain. Know that you are a beloved child of God, and God is with you, and that this time is holy.